Eldo na rejonie, Hunter na mikrofonie. Witam was w kolejnym materiale z gry Vampyr. Oczywiście dziękuję za oglądanie, dziękuję za wspieranie. Mam nadzieję, że seryjka się podoba. Playlista z odcinkami w prawym górnym rogu. Zachęcam też do wspierania od piątaka miesięcznie. Pozwolicie mi dalej działać na tej platformie. Będę bardzo wdzięczny za takową pomoc. Zanim bym przeszedł dalej, to bym porozmawiał z kilką o Pipa. Porozmawiam z Pipą. Jest kilka osób, z którymi chciałem porozmawiać, żeby dowiedzieć się troszeczkę więcej o nich. To jest jakaś pacjentka?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
I am vampire.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reed. Blood is the only drug I need.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Okay.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Grubo. Zdrowy. No kurwa, coś tak wątpię trochę.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal.
Terma cierpi na zespół Cotarda i wiesz, że jest wampirzycą. Okej.
You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see.
Vampire.
Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Dobra, będę pamiętał. Czekaj, chociaż... Dobra, tutaj nie. Tutaj już nic. Osobiste pytania.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Potrzebuję wskazówek więcej. Dobra, no to nara.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Mamy jeszcze kilka osób, z którymi trzeba porozmawiać. Jest Pipa. Musimy z Pipą porozmawiać. Yo, Pipa.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Pippa, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Okej.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
No, mamy wybór.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Okej, mamy kolejną wskazówkę. Koledzy Miltona nie mają o nim zbyt wysokiego mniemania. Czyli mamy już full z nim związane. Pierwsza postać, która została przez nas całkowicie rozgryziona.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Osobiste pytania. Potrzebuję wskazówek.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Ty, to bym poszedł jeszcze z nim porozmawiać. Milton. Where are ya? Tu jest Milton. Siema, Milton.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Okej.
Goodbye, Milton.
Goodbye, Milton. Zapierdolę do środka. Czas pójść do tego gabinetu w końcu, nie? Chociaż jeszcze chciałoby się pogadać z kilkoma osobami. Tutaj jest lekarz, z którym jeszcze nie mieliśmy okazji się zapoznać. Siema.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Okej.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
A mogę zmienić na przykład?
Oh, but I have...
There is no...
That is one...
Aha, czy to jest jedyny wybór.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Okej, nowa wskazówka. Nie popiera nowoczesnej medycyny, okej. No to trochę głupota, bym powiedział.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon, and it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Ale kutas z niego jebany.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Ja cię kurwa zahipnotyzuję i cię rozpierdolę, nie? Tu jest nieznany i tu jest jeszcze nieznany.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Mogę go zahipnotyzić.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Okej, o
Are
szpitalu.
you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tutaj nic nie mogę zadać
Goodbye for
mu.
now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Niedokończony list. Kochane dzieciaki. O, Harvey Fiddick. Dopóki Harvey nie odzyska sprawności w ręce, nie będzie w stanie wykarmić rodziny.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
O śmierci
Tell me
żony.
more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Dobra.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick.
Nice sweet girl.
Cholera, tu jest za dużo gadania.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Okej.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical.
Do tej pory eksperymenty Thora w zakresie transfuzji krwi były bezskuteczne. O.
You may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Okej, o szpitalu
What can you
opowiedz
tell
mi.
me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea, but with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may
Okej,
pass
kolejny
by
kwestior.
if I have time.
Osobiste pytania o twojej technice.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Kolejna wskazówka. Obwinia się o swój wypadek.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Kurwa, tu jest gadanie, a gadanie. Non-stop gadanie. Gdzie?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, doctor.
Dobra, dobra. Nie pultaj się, ziom.
Goodbye for now.
Okej. Idę w końcu na górę, kurwa, bo nigdy tam nie przejdę. Jest gadanie, 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 non-stop gadanie.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by Vampyr.
A, tu jest wejście do Rakisza, okej.
Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Czekaj, muszę od tej strony wejść, bo się gdzieś już zakręciłem i nie wiem, gdzie mam iść. Cześć, z tobą miałem jeszcze. Coś tam mówił.
Good evening, miss.
I need blood, doctor.
Nie, dobra.
I'll leave you, mistress.
Tu jest góra. Dobra. Tak, po schodach do końca na lewo. Dr. Reed.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Jebany żartowniś, co? O! Wiadomość od doktora. Drogi Jonathanie, poprosiłem siostrę Crane, żeby przygotowała dla ciebie gabinę na pierwszym piętrze, chyba że jest surowy wystrój, ale szpitalowi daleko do 5-gwiazdkowego hotelu. Przykro mi, że sam musisz się w nim rozgościć, ale potrzebuję chwili snu, zanim wrócę do pracy. Wszak jestem jedynie śmiertelnikiem. Nakazałem personelowi, żeby pozwalał ci odpoczywać i nigdy nie wchodził do twojego pokoju, pozwolić ci dosypiać w ciągu dnia i pracować w nocy, nie budząc niczyich podejrzeń. Obawiam się, że panuje tu nieporządek, ale przynajmniej będziesz mógł we własnym tempie prowadzić swoje eksperymenty. W gabinecie znajdzie się otwierane okno, a pod nim rusztowanie. W ten sposób wejdziesz do szpitala, opuścisz jego mur, nie zwracając niczyjej uwagi. Wyobrażam sobie, jakie to wszystko musi być dla ciebie nowe i trudne. Uwierz mi, badam twój gatunek wystarczająco długo, by zrozumieć, z czym się obecnie mierzysz. Zapewniam, że zrobię wszystko, co w mojej mocy, Dodałem sobie wszystko. By ci pomóc przejść przez tę mękę. Nie jesteś sam. Oby nasza przyszła współpraca dała wspaniałe rezultaty. Witaj w Pembroke, mój szanowny kolego. Wkrótce porozmawiamy. Edgar Griffin Swansea. Zostawiłem ci kopię notatek z tego, co z ostatnich lat ustaliłem na temat ekonów. Przeczytaj je, jeżeli potrzebujesz przewodnika, tylko nie wykorzystuj ich przeciwko mnie. Dobra. Dobra, to są te notatki. Tutaj mamy szklane fiolki.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
A, czekaj, wodę mogę sobie ogarnąć. A, nie mogę. No to nie. Tu mogę uzupełnić sobie amunicję, ale nie potrzebuję tego. Aby odblokować nowe receptury, najpierw zbadaj znalezione składniki. Kliknij składniki do zbadania. Serum. Łagodne serum regeneracyjne. Natychmiast przywraca 300 punktów zdrowia, a po upływie 15 sekund dodatkowe 150. Szklana fiolka, rozcieńczona krzepka krew, winian żelaza i roztwór podchlorynu sodu.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Tylko chciałbym najpierw zobaczyć, czy to na przykład mogę jakoś ulepszyć. No, to by się przydało, to by było lepsze. A, tu jest jeszcze ogłuszenia po trafieniu. Fajna jest ta pała. Niewielki worek śmieci. O! Kozak! To teraz mogę? Nie, bo brakuje mi dalej. Dobra, ale muszę po śmieciach szukać różnych rzeczy. Czas na odpoczynek, czas na rozdanie umiejętności. Ulepszę sobie ugryzienie, bo to ugryzienie jest bardzo dobre. Tutaj wymaga poziomu 6. Podnieść poziom zdrowia. Niech będzie. Tu jest to kolejne, ale może poziom wytrzymałości. Tak, też zdecydowanie. No, i teraz fajno. Fajno. Kolejnej nocy. Odcinki z tej serii chyba będą trochę dłuższe. Rozdział 2. Białe fartuchy. Zbadałem krew Williama Bishopa, lecz otrzymałem tylko częściowe wyniki. Próbka była znacznie mniej stabilna niż ludzka krew i ujawniała poważną mutację. Nie to mnie jednak spotkało. Muszę szukać dalej, muszę zebrać więcej dowodów na temat tego, co się dzieje. Czas może i jest po mojej stronie, ale Londyn nie ma tyle szczęścia. Epidemia zabija tysiące ludzi, a miasto znajduje się na krawędzi upadku. Zaczynam wierzyć, że wszystko się ze sobą wiąże. Na razie jednak nie dostrzegam prawidłowości ani przekonującego wyjaśnienia. Póki co muszę odgrywać rolę lekarza i najlepiej, jak potrafię, pomagać tym, którzy mnie potrzebują, kontynuując przy tym śledztwo.
I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Szczury wpierdalaj! Tutaj mam wyjście? Nie, nie mam wyjścia. To gdzie mam wyjście przez okno? Sprawdź, kto przyszedł. Nocna zmiana. Dzień dobry.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Okej. Wejść do starej kostnicy. Używana piła chirurgiczna. Kurwa. Tutaj notatki, ale to... Thomas Elwood, o. Ziomek, którego jeszcze nie spotkałem, a już mam tajemnicę na jego temat. Proszę bardzo. No tak, bo ja nie sprawdzałem tutaj tych pokojów. Jeszcze wyżej jest. Ale wyżej mamy zablokowane. Przynajmniej z tej strony. A tutaj coś? Ten teges, szmeges? Nic. Tu też zablokowane. Dobrze, idziemy w takim razie do kostnicy. A, tylko miałem wyjść. O, to ten jest. Z tym nie rozmawiałem.
So many deaths. And what of my own life?
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
Wskazówka nie zadziałała. O kurde.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore. In Rouen. Dead drunk I was.
Pierwszy raz.
The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Goodbye for now, mister.
Dobra, pogadam sobie z nim później, bo kurwa cały czas gadam z tymi ludźmi jebanymi. A gadanie to tyle czasu zajmuje. Zdecydowanie za dużo czasu zajmuje. Zdecydowanie za dużo czasu. Idź, idź, idź. Co, bo tutaj... A, bo bieganko miałem wyłączone. Czy ja dobrze idę w ogóle? Ta, przejdę tędy chyba.
It's locked, all right.
To z tej strony będzie wejście. Coś tu się świeciło. A. O kwarantannie. Znajdź winian żelaza, chininę i podchloryn sodu. Szklana fiolka. Tutaj. Na dole coś jest. Wydawałoby się, że tutaj też są jakieś ślady krwi. Kolejne szklane fiolki. No to muszę pokój za pokojem sprawdzać. To jest wyjście? Tak, to jest wyjście. A nie chciałem wychodzić, kurwa. Wracam. Pewnie będzie jakiś kluczyk na dole. Znaczy na dół prowadzący do tych drzwi będzie klucz. O, to chciałem powiedzieć. Tylko najpierw wejdźmy na górę. Dawaj. I tyś. O ty kurwa. Ty chujku. Kurwo jebana ty. No. Jak mnie najebał? Co jest kurwa? Jakiś pet jebany. Przecież ja go normalnie rozwalałem takie. Ja pierdolę. Ale mnie wkurwił.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Dobrze. kurwa. No, w końcu. Czemu mi pary nie działa? No. Nie wiem, czemu mi tak... Strasznie dziwnie, strasznie dziwnie. Tutaj coś, czekaj, wezmę to. No. Szklana fiolka kolejna. Pieniądze.
I cannot enter.
Tu, o.
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Wejdę jeszcze na górę. Rozcieńczona odżywcza krew. Oho. Ktoś tu ewidentnie chce się ze mną bawić. A tu sprawdzałem. Stąd przyszedłem, dobra? O, aż dwóch jest.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Elo, kurwo. Gdzie dropik z ciebie? Aha, nic nie leci z ciebie, świetnie. Weźmy naboje. O, może uda mi się go podejść. Ale ich kurwa jadę. Tylko oni podchodzą z takiej strony dzikiej. Siema. Okej, co my tu mamy?
It's locked.
Dostępne jest nowe lokalne śledztwo. W tym miejscu wyświetlane są śledztwa dotyczące mieszkańców. Zostały podzielone według dzielnic. Aby przejść na misję, wybierz OK. Niewłaściwy cel. Tym bolesniejszy upadek. Brakujące składniki.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
Używany nóż amputacyjny. Zdobyto nowy rodzaj broni dodatkowej. Wybierz i wciśnij, aby wykradać krew. O! Absorpcja krwi jeszcze. A tutaj nic nie ma? Nie ma. W sumie wiecie co? Ja bym sobie poszedł w zmianę taką małą, bo bym sobie wziął na przykład wezmę tę używaną pałkę. Albo nie, to wezmę. A na drugą rękę wezmę sobie używany rewolwer. O, i będę mógł sobie szczylać w dziadów. Dobra, przeszukajmy wszystkie pomieszczenia. Nie, stąd przyszedłem. Tak, stąd przyszedłem. Znowu jakieś 2 znaczniki na mapie zaznaczyłem. Nawet nie wiem kiedy. Ogłuszmy go najpierw. Ale chujowo bije. Ten pistolecik to taki słaby. Ja myślałem, że to coś lepszego będzie, a to takie... Bardzo mech. John Doe. O kurwa. Pomaga mu jakiś. Kurwa, muszę zmienić tę broń, bo jednak... Przyzwyczaił się człowiek. Ale tu jest 2 ziomów w ogóle. Kurwa, ale mnie biją. Ale mnie doje... Ja pierdolę. Kurwa, jak zablokowane mam, to ja nic nie widzę. Jedź pan w chuj. Dwóch skurwieli się rzuciło. Nie ogarniam tego kombata kompletnie, nie? O! Aha, kolejnego se zrobił. Dobra, leży.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
No, przejebane. Stwórz środek na zmęczenie. O. Środek na zmęczenie, to mogę sobie rozłożyć. Może uleczyć zmęczenie. Super. O, tu jest coś do zebrania jeszcze. Super. Ale ogromna szkoda, że nie podświetla bardziej rzeczy, co są do zebrania. Zanieś lekarstwo Dorothy Crane z sali chorych. Tak, zróbmy. Czekaj, a tędy przejdę? A, to jest tamto miejsce, dobra. Nie. Nie wiem, już zajebałem się, nie wiem gdzie iść. No dawaj. Muszę po prostu pary się nauczyć, bo to jest mega ciężkie. No, jest ciężkie. Zeżrę go. Zeżarty. Będzie ciężko, żeby się nauczyć, jak tutaj paruje się przeciwników. Dobra. Dawaj. No. Nie wychodzi to w ogóle, nie? To działa tak bardzo... To... Nie wiem, kurwa, raz klikam dosłownie w tym samym momencie i nic. Ale jest przejebane. Nie wiem, bardzo losowo działa to pary. Przynajmniej ja mam takie wrażenie po tych kilku bitkach, że... No, mam ogromne wrażenie, że klikam dosłownie w tym samym momencie, co powinienem, co już robiłem kilkukrotnie. I raz będzie, a raz nie będzie, nie? Proszę bardzo, nocna zmiana.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Choroby obniżają jakość krwi mieszkańca. Użyj odpowiedniego lekarstwa, aby ich wyleczyć. Rozmawiaj z pacjentem, który zajmuje pokój za Doroty, aby sprawdzić jego stan zdrowia. Dobra, później. Nie chce mi się kurwa teraz tego robić, bo po 30 minutach gadania pamiętaj, krew mieszkańca zapewni ci potężny zastrzyk punktów doświadczenia. Szukaj mieszkańców, których poziom odporności na hipnotyzm jest niższy lub równy twojemu. Dobrze się zastanów, kogo wybierzesz. Powiem tak, ja bym chciał jednak zrobić rana, w którym nikogo nie żrę, tylko sobie żeruję na właśnie takich, na tych, co się odnawiają, oponenci. A tu jednak chciałem zrobić takiego rana, że no nie zżeram nikogo, nie? Z tych takich rzeczy, z tych osób, które mogę zahipnotyzować. Dobra. Mordy, mordeczki, mordunie, serdeczna arigato za obejrzenie tego materiału. Mam nadzieję, że się podobało. Wszystkie instrukcje oczywiście macie w opisie i to by było na tyle. Widzimy się za niedługo w kolejnym materiale z tej serii. Kacę was. Następnego trzymajcie się. Indiu!